Welcome to session review of week 13 of my Waterdeep Dragon Heist. The secondhand six are enjoying their morning the day before Trollskull Manor fully opens up. Around 8 a.m. or so, Z2 is out in the front impressing passerbys. Draven is up top sunbathing, and the rest of the group is in the manor relaxing. Doc leans out of his window and sees a gnome being chased by three men. As these men turn the corner, Z2 sees them heading towards the manor, running into people who call the alleyway home. Draven hears this ruckus as he starts to lean over the roof. Something shiny blinds him from down the alleyway and catches something falling from the rooftop and sees a man running in a single red poncho with no other clothes. And as he's trying to figure out what this man was, he sees a giant ball of fire roaring down into the street, strikes the crowd as well as Z2. As the fireball hits the crowd, Z2 covers up a child, and everyone else hears the windows rattle as the roar of the explosion fills Trollskull Alley. Orc runs to see outside. As Orc walks out, he is hit with the smell of charred bodies and hears screams filling up the air. A thick smoke billows outwards from the blast. Doc saw three men getting chased, running past a woman and children playing in the alleyway. Now sees them laying down dead. The fireball didn't set any buildings ablaze, but it left 11 people dead. Vengeance and Zelly are down in the basement and starts to head up after hearing the commotion. Ismay puts down her books and heads out as well. Draven sees the figure and runs and leaps towards him, who sent the fireball down into the alleyway. He tries to hit him with an attack but misses and lands on a roof, damaging it and falling through all the way to the bottom floor. I want to bring up some consequences here. The players need to know that their actions have consequences. You know, they need to warp to the world and learn the world doesn't warp to them. If you use a destructive attack, which the DM already explains that if they miss and they hit a building, it's going to destroy it. There's things that are going to end up happening, like making a hole into the roof. With Draven now on the ground, he leaves the home and they start searching the dead bodies. They see one of the dead males in the center of the blast has a black winged snake tattooed on his forearm. And the dead gnome that they found has dry waste on his boots and cloak, suggesting he spent some time in the sewers recently. And he also has a pouch containing some gemstones. Doc grabs the gemstones off the corpse, as well as tells the rest of the members what's going on. The city guards come, and the players become a little cagey with their info, and they explain their reasoning quite quickly to the guards, why they're holding info away from them, and explain it as they're holding it for Silverhand herself, as they are they work for her, which works out for them. They then start to speak to the crowd as the guards push them away from the bodies as they can no longer search them. And they start to get some information from the people standing around. With that, they head to the yawning portal to find Rainier and speak to him to have him look into the gnome and any of the gnome's contracts. They actually find out that the gnome is actually a spy for his dad, the old open lord of Waterdeep. They try to also get in touch with Silverhand, but she's off taking care of some business. And I wanted to make sure that this world felt real. The players were getting a little lost here, and I worried about them finding their way, but they kept on coming up with more and more people to go and discuss things with. Now, to make the world feel real, I made sure that not all of them were available. Silverhand is a busy person. She's not going to be there all the time. But they came up with people I didn't think that they would necessarily go to. They went to Rainier, and I knew the guy was a spy for his dad, but I never thought that they would ever figure that out because I didn't think they would go and see Rhaenyra at any point in time. And that's just a cool thing. And the world shouldn't revolve around the players, I think. And they just kept on pushing forward and looking for more clues and finding more ways to push the story along on their own. And I never really had to worry. I had a couple of those moments where I did, but I really didn't need to. They were able to put things together or go and ask the right questions or go find the right people. They figured out that the humanoid that tossed the fireball was from the Temple of Gond, or Gond, Gond. They follow the lead of Warwick that Warwick had as they walk up to the Temple of Gond. They are attacked by a sparrow. They destroy it quite easily. They rush inside and they meet a bronze dragonborn, Valletta. They speak to Valletta and she shows them Nym, and she explains that he is a special construct gifted to the temple from a wizard. Nym is at first very scared. Doc and Ismay tried to calm it down, and it starts to trust them, starts to give them a little bit more information, and through some role playing, it breaks down and gives up the fact that he himself has made a Nimblewright to help him deal with his loneliness that he has been having. But he believes someone was using the Nimblewright. Nym gave them a Nimblewright detector that he made in case he had to go out and find the Nimblewright himself. They then begin the search for the Nimblewright, and they head towards the north district to see if the Nimblewright was heading towards the Noble. I want to talk about letting players stew, right? I got worried that they wouldn't be able to figure out where the Nimblewright went to, but after speaking to a couple of the NPCs that they did and that really knew nothing for the PC for them to figure out, the PCs figured out the best place to go to with the little pieces of clues that they did have was to go up to the north where the nobles were. You know, them sitting there just kind of working on that problem themselves, they got to the answer. You know, I think sometimes, especially me, I worry too much if the game's not getting pushed along enough, because I do feel like my players are very much task oriented, but I need to let them sit there for a little bit with stuff. I should let there be quiet because they need to be able to think. You know what I mean? After a little bit, the detector goes off and they find that it's going off around a villa. Doc turns himself into a rat and runs inside, and he sees a lot of dead bodies. And then sees some Zents attacking the guards of the villa. They try to sneak into the villa quietly, but they fail. They fight through some thugs and head upstairs. As they get upstairs, they see some more thugs and guards fighting. Doc runs past all the fighting, and turns from his rat form back to his druid form and expresses to the lady of the villa that he was there to help, but the bodyguard was not having it. The rest of the guards and the second-hand six starts to slug it out. A man matching the description from Fala, one of the people who witnessed the fireball earlier that day, came out of the bathroom and beelined it straight to the lady of the house and attacked her. The guards then attacked him. It was a fight between three sets of people, and the players had no idea what was really going on. Doc, during the fight, saw the lady hand the Nimblewright a map and told it to run, and it ran. So let's talk about letting the players be confused. There's a lot going on behind the scenes in the villa, and the party could have figured out all of it if they were in certain rooms at certain times, and if they kept certain people alive, and they didn't, and that's okay. And if they're confused, I think it's a good thing to let them be confused at times. They will always wonder what really was going on, and maybe next time when they get into kind of a situation like this, they will take it a little bit slower. They finally wiped out everyone, the guards, the Zents, the bodyguard, and the lady of the house. They stabilized the bodyguard and the lady of the house, tied them up, and waited for Silverhand. That's where we ended the session. Please let me know if you liked it. Down in the comments, hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with one of your friends. And like always, have a beautiful day.